Hello everybody and welcome to my first One Piece chapter review. We're going to be reviewing chapter 1037. I'm a bit late joining the game, but I've been watching and reading One Piece for like more than half my life at this point, so I just wanted to kind of get my thoughts out there. And so where else to start than a chapter review to get up to date with like the current events. Obviously I've been caught up for a while, and yeah, so today's a special day, going to be started. Cue the intro. So the chapter starts out in Wano, and Oda just kind of brings us back to that early Wano feeling, like pure, like just depravity that the whole island is in, complete sadness every day but the fire festival where Orochi and Kaido are gone. So one thing we do learn that I feel is quite relevant is that they're going to be sending up these lanterns into the sky, and on these lanterns is written something that they wish that their ancestors will fulfill for them. I could be mistaken on that, but it was essentially their wishes. And again, Oda's just reminding us how depressing Wano is. Like, one child writes, "I want to see my mom again," and then a lady, like presumably a mother, says, "I want to be able to feed my kids." Like, that's depressing, Oda. Like, wow. But the reason that I say it's relevant is that I think since Onigashima is again flying, by the way, I want to mention that I think that because they aren't really mentioning that in the Flower Capital, Onigashima is still a bit away. Like, it's still a ways away. But eventually when it does come and they're raising the lanterns, I think that the people who are outside are going to be able to see it. And it might give like Momo and Luffy like a second wind where they see these things and it's like somebody writes, "I want to see Wano's borders open again," and then boom, Momo gets like a second wing. Boom, Luffy gets a second wind. Then we cut to Luffy versus Kaido, the hype, that action. Like, I can't say too much on Luffy end because again, Luffy just is doing Luffy stuff. Like, I was talking to a friend the other day about like Sanji versus Queen and King versus Zoro. Besides the minority hunter Zoro jokes, like the main thing that I kind of was talking about was like Zoro was just doing Zoro things. Like, I didn't feel like there was anything new in this fight besides, of course, his Conqueror's Haki that is worth discussing. But otherwise, it's like Zoro's doing Zoro stuff. He wants to be the king of hell, and Sanji's not just doing Sanji stuff. Sanji mid-fight literally had like an internal like quabble that discussed the very essence of his character. Like, he wrote out like the very thesis of his like existence. Like, it was like Oda was like, "You guys are being so goddamn annoying trying to make this character in a series which talks about staying to your values and staying true to your values and holding strong to your beliefs. All of you guys saying, 'Oh, Sanji should just hit a woman,' oh, blah 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 blah." Like, all of you guys saying that, Oda's like, "No, do you want Sanji to be this person who doesn't stay true to his values and becomes like a robot who would be able to do whatever for Luffy? Or do you want him to be who he is? A flawed character, but human and well written nonetheless?" And Sanji gave his own answer, which in my opinion is Oda giving the answer to the fans. Like, bro, just stop. Like, you guys are being annoying. So the reason I bring that up is Luffy's just doing Luffy things. Like, just Luffy things. It's not really nothing special from Luffy's end. Kaido, on the other hand, is not doing typical Kaido things. Like, if you've been in the community for a while, I kind of want to bring you back. I want to bring you a bit back to a time where we're just done Whole Cake Island. We finished Reverie. We're in the first like 2 parts of Wano, and Kaido comes out of the sky. Law is looking up like, "Holy shit, bro! Like, what the hell? How? Like, he's a dragon." Everybody's going crazy. The community's in a fume, and then 3 seconds later, we realize Kaido's drunk, and everybody was like, "God, fuck, goddamn, why? Why, Oda? We just had Big Mom screaming, 'Wedding cake,' for like 10 chapters straight. and then you're gonna give us a drunk character who gets nerfed. And so a lot of people were like that. Can't say I was too much on either side. I was a bit more patient, and I was kind of like waiting to see what Oda does. Like, thankfully, Kaido still one-shot Luffy, so it didn't feel like he was getting nerfed. But in the end of the day, like, now that we're kind of getting to see that like drunkenness fully fleshed out, I think Oda did a great job with it. I love the little like things that pop up. It's like, oh, right now he's a depressed drunk, and he's depressed about the palace crumbling, and that it took like 5 years to build. Now he's a sad drunk and he's crying, and which was like so hilarious to see a Yonko crying like a child. Get away, get away. And then we had the angry drunk, where his fight with Luffy was causing him to sober up, and he was pissed about that. And so, like, of all the horrors existing in One Piece society, the one thing Kaido is scared of is his own sobriety. What the fuck? Kaido's hilarious, not gonna lie. But yeah, that was about it. Like, the fight was just clashes, like, nothing really decisive on either side. Luffy's bleeding, Kaido's getting annoyed. It's just like kind of pushing the needle a bit, so we kind of see more of the fight. The anime will take each panel and make it a 5-minute segment where it's like and then just their eyes, and then just their fists, and then red raw Gatling. The anime is definitely gonna take this and stretch it out a significant amount, but I think that's why I was okay with Sanji and Zoro's fights being shorter. Luffy, of course, doesn't get that treatment because he's the MC and Oda loves him, unfortunately. So we don't get to see like Kid versus Big Mom, which is something I've like really been anticipating. Kid and Law versus Big Mom. But anyways, we'll see. The big part and the main part and like the most exciting part was the last two pages. And Oda loves doing this. Like, he'll give 100-chapter arc only to give like a 1-chapter interim, where it's like, this is what everybody's excited for. Of course, we love One Piece and we love everything in that 100-chapter stretch, but like, world building in One Piece is what like really gets us hard. It really gets most people excited about the story. So there was a lot of things to take away. Like, each like text box, I feel like you could have like a whole discussion. I'm sure someone like Tech Gang would have like a whole episode, like a whole like 20-minute segment on just like one short line in the chapter, because he's awesome and he can do that. Like, the fact that he has that ability is just incredible. Okay, so starting with the first thing that was mentioned, it was that Reverie was like a cursed year, and so we've kind of seen like the aftermath, not really the physical aftermath, like the more emotional aftermath of Reverie on the revolutionary / dragon side. So now we kind of get to see that there was damage done on both sides, and so like it wasn't just like a complete utter defeat for the revolutionaries. I think the fact that the world government was so quick to say like, that's not really our concern anymore, our concern is Wano, gives us kind of estimation that maybe they didn't get hit as hard, or they've recovered since. Two of the big things that we need to consider is how Robin was referred to. Robin, again, they said they want to capture Nico Robin. And funnily enough, like in the last page, the Marine officer who was reporting back, he looked a bit like Rob Lucci, and I was like, damn, this guy's name's gotta be Bob Gucci or something. But yeah, anyways, they want to capture Nico Robin. Again, doesn't really make sense to me. Hasn't made sense to me for a long time, because I assume the world government knows what happened during the voyage entry, and so why not just eliminate that threat, kill her instantly? But I think it's a shonen, so they can't really do that. They said they wanted to kill someone during the aftermath of the war, and it was weird to me, because I was thinking, and possibly overthinking, because that's what happens during these week-to-week discussions. My initial thoughts was that it was either Luffy, Kaido, or Big Mom. But after thinking about it, I was like, no, it couldn't really be them, because even though it'd be cool to have like the government be like, we need to kill Monkey D. Luffy, even though it would have been really cool for them to say that about Luffy, I think it's more likely not a pirate because they felt like they needed to kill them under like the suspicion that it was done through the war. So I think given that the government wants to invade Wano, that is going to be a political hit, possibly Komurasaki or Momonosuke, because without their political leadership, the government can take over. That's my theory. Future Justice here. I completely forgot to talk about the second to last panel before we got to see Zoe. I guess I was just a bit too excited. This is where the Gorosei started mentioning things like, we only know that fruit from legends. It hasn't been awaked in centuries. And so I don't know if they're referring to Zoe in particular or if they're talking about something else. Because they mentioned, then why did the world government make a different name for that fruit in particular? All I can think about, to be honest, is it's a completely different fruit that we haven't heard of in the series, or it's Momonosuke / Kaido's fruit that they changed the name of. Because every other fruit in the series, from my understanding, is that once you eat a devil fruit, you inherently know the name. Luffy never had to get taught that it was the Gomu Gomu no Mi. So my current theory is that because of the prevalence of Momonosuke / Kaido's fruit, that it could be them, or it's something new entirely. It could be that Zoe itself is a devil fruit user who got turned into that, which would be a cool theory for another day. I don't know. What are your thoughts on this? And lastly, we have Zoe. Zoe arriving in Wano. I forget who theorized this. Was it Joy Boy? Probably was Joy Boy, because Joy Boy's like a genius. This dude's theories, absolutely love them, but I think he theorized that and it was incredible. I was always like I liked the idea of it, like Momonosuke screaming, like using his like abilities to call Zoe, but honestly I never really thought it was gonna happen, so I can't be like, oh, I was riding this bandwagon from day one. Nah, I was really not. That there's not really much to say besides that it's so awesome, and I really can't wait to hear more about this and like see more about this. And yeah, so tell me your thoughts, everyone. The cover story, I didn't feel like we really needed to talk about it. It was just Judge like sighing because after the thing, so we'll see more about that series. Yeah, so wrap it up. Take care, everyone. Tell me in the comment your favorite moment from it. Like, okay, let's say your favorite Luffy attack, because again, I didn't really go for Luffy stuff. It was just Luffy doing Luffy stuff, and it was cool. The attack names, they were cool. Like I loved Kaido's ones, but all in all, the last 2 pages were the best ones. I'll stand by it. Bob Gucci was a good character for as long as he was on the screen. Okay, everybody, take care and peace.
この世には2種類の魂魄がある。一つはプラスと呼ばれる通常の霊、貴様が普段目にしている幽霊だ。そして今一つがフォローと呼ばれ、聖者死者の別なくを襲って魂を食らう、いわゆる悪霊だ。ここまでで何か質問はあるか？
とりあえずお前の絵が異常に下手な理由から聞こうが。ああ！何しやがる！説明を続けるぞ、バロン閣下。